Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your February 2021 Astro Update. It's Raina here. And when I was putting together my playlist, I realized that I had neglected your sign. So I'm sorry about that. I actually did 2 recordings for Aquarius. So that was the 12th one. And now this is the 13th for the month. And it was funny because I was thinking the same thing with Aquarius. I had already done it. And I felt like I had done yours as well because some of these things carry over from last month. I'm sure I spent a lot of time talking about how Jupiter and Saturn were in the 6th house that you rule and how the sun went there and Mercury and how crowded that area was. But crowded also means meaningful, important for you to pay attention to. The 6th house is the house you rule in the universal chart. So you have a direct connection to this house. And the affairs of this house are the affairs which you embody, which you are interested in. And this has to do with work, health, and organizing your daily life. And the last one is actually more important than I think some people give it credit for being, because organizing our lives can be a crucial factor in being able to change to something else. There are people, I had a boss and I was working in a retail environment, and she said, she got her MBA by getting up at 4 a.m. to study and doing her thing because she was working a full-time job. So she had to find that time. And I think at that time she still had underage children. I'm not sure. But the point is that where there's a will, there's a way. However, some people don't see the way because, maybe they don't have the will, but they still don't see how they can do it. And so that is an important thing, but also service to others. That's what work ultimately is. Like Khalil Gibran said, work is love made visible. And, whether we call it love or just our sense of purpose in this lifetime, how we serve others, whatever we want to call it, there's a lot going on here for you. Now, this is a little bit different than the 10th house of career because this is how you work. And that is also an important detail. Not everybody has the same kind of work habits or the desire to work in a certain way. Some people love 9 to 5. I know when I worked that retail environment, I loved having odd hours. And I had a coworker who loved to work very, orderly, fixed hours. And she happened to be a fixed sign. She happened to be a Scorpio, so that made sense. And I'm a mutable sign, a Sag. You're a mutable sign, Virgo. So you may be a lot like me, where you want some flexibility in your work and your work schedule. So anyway, on the 1st of the month, Venus goes into this house and joins the party. Venus can bring money in whatever house she travels in. So we can make the deduction that in the 6th house, this could be a raise. This could be a promotion that gives you a raise. So there could be like a two-for angle. And especially at the time of the new moon, there might be some kind of developments with your work. But it can also be finding love in the workplace. The 6th house can be your work environment. It could be decorating your work environment in some way. Spending on a high-ticket health, item, like luxury item. I always say this is the Vitamix, buying a Vitamix transit because it's a high-ticket blender. And that's the kind of thing that might happen when Venus goes into your 6th house. On the 11th, we have a new moon at 23 Pisces. Why did I say Pisces? Why? Oh, because I was looking at the next one. at 23 Aquarius, so more triggers to that 6th house. And so set your intentions for things related, whether it's health improvements or, work goals, these kinds of things. Set your intentions, kind of organize your thoughts about what you'd like to bring in. There could be new developments. The 18th, and all this time Mercury is retrograde in this same house. So that might be something that you're reviewing or kind of thinking about, like, do I really want to do this type of work? Like, what is my dream job? What is, what do I feel like I'm acclimated to be doing? On the 18th, the sun goes into Pisces, your opposite sign. So this is the 7th house of committed partnership. So relationships start to take your attention away from work matters. Maybe you are planning some kind of wedding or something along those lines, and going over, having delays. Mercury is in the house of work, but still, that doesn't mean that it can't influence other areas of your life as well. So during this time, Mercury retrograde, if you're trying to plan something like a wedding, that might be a little bit tricky. But in any case, definitely with work matters. And there could be some kind of feeling, or you be questioning yourself about whether you're in alignment with the type of work that you do. And not just because whether it bores you or you're excited about it, but also because sometimes this can indicate that the person has outgrown something, or that they just don't feel like they vibe with it. It's not just about whether you're bored. It's about whether you feel it's ethical to do what you're doing, whether you feel a strong pull towards it or not. And on the 25th, on the 20th, Mercury goes direct. So you may resolve something in that 6th house that has to do with your workday world, or this is a house of pets. Maybe you're thinking, should I really get a dog or a cat, researching it, so on and so forth. On the 25th, Venus goes into Pisces. Cha-ching. Oh, no, not cha-ching. What am I talking about? I got very little sleep last night, and it's catching up with me, obviously. Venus goes into the 7th house of committed partnership. This is the area that Venus rules. Although it can be cha-ching in any house that Venus transits, so that part is right. If so, that would be more for if you have clients, if you have started a business, that can certainly be the case. This can be meeting somebody on the job. This can be, getting a raise, getting along with your coworkers. On the 27th, there's a full moon at 8 degrees of Virgo. So some of you early degree Virgo people, this is in your sign, 0 to 8 degrees. So, if it's the sun sign, it would be probably those who are born in August, primarily, that have this for your sun sign. But in any case, this would fall in your 7th house of committed partnership. And certainly with other things that are happening, this could indicate like a love relationship blossoming in the workplace, and seeing how yourself has needs that go along with that. Well, actually, what I was referring to is the opposition from the full moon in your first house to the sun in the seventh house. And so in some cases, Virgos that are married, you may see your partner in a truer light, and how that has related to you possibly sacrificing for that person. The full moon in our sign is a chance for us to let go of things that are keeping us from achieving our highest aspirations. And that also includes personal relationships. For others of you, this is not going to be in your first house. It's actually going to be in your 12th house. And I've spoken about this before, that there are similarities with a full moon or even a new moon in the 12th and the first house, but especially a full moon. Because in the 12th house, a full moon can be letting go of habits, things that keep you down, that keep you from achieving things that, like, what is the term? I mean, it can be like addictions, but stumbling blocks. But these are sometimes unconscious patterns. The first house is more things that you are aware of, and especially on the more superficial level, like your physical appearance, for instance. That might be something that you want to change. But the first house can also be seen as a catch-all house for all things that are in your life as a whole. And the 12th house can be a catch-all house for all the endings in your life. And so these two things are merging. But in terms of, personal self-improvement, the 12th house can be really taking stock in the kind of things that keep you down, that keep you playing small in life. And some of these things are not really known. I mean, you have to really dig deep. The 12th house reminds me sometimes of the 8th house in certain ways. So, but it's doing more of the inner work than the first house can be seen more as the outer work, either the body or your life as a whole. And letting go of that, or having things end that free you in a sense. So that's kind of a nice way to end the month. For those Virgos who are born 9 to 29 degrees of sun or rising, if this is in your 12th house, this could be like a very emotional thing as well. It can be very psychic too. So it can give you information about, where your life is headed. All right, that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I'm promoting my double readings. I have one that's natal chart transits as one reading, and then that's a full-length reading, tarot reading, that's called the whole enchilada for a special price. And then the deep dive, which is extended natal chart analysis, extended transits for a special price. That's a 2-hour reading. The other one is an hour 45 minutes. For a special price, the link is below. Have a great month. Take care. Bye.